Good evening, good afternoon. What's up, everybody? It's Gina Ifoe, the one and only African superstar, back at it again. I want to give a big shout out to the customers of the AfricanSuperstar.com and also our members only who support this platform on a monthly basis. And they are designated by the circle next to their name. Last but certainly not least, the lovers of the African Superstar Music Project. I did officially drop my official freestyle video, my first official freestyle video yesterday, one and only. It's here on the channel. It's on the community tab. So yes, I now have a freestyle. So, we have quite a variety of music. It's actually my sixth track that I have released. We have obviously Ghana Roll Call is the first, Ghana's Good For Me, Heartbreak Wednesday, Liar 2022, Come Chill With Me, and One and Only. So it's going down. Today I want to talk about what to do when people are not on board with your dream. A lot of times we will have initiatives, we'll have goals, we'll have things like that. And obviously we want our friends and family to accompany us on a journey. For a lot of you guys that are interested on the continent or probably even just worldwide travel, you may have had encounters with your friends and family when you talk about maybe your travel plans or your desires. And, people are like, oh, I don't have money, or they're not interested in where you want to go, and things like that. And so I kind of want to talk about what to do when you're in these situations, when you want to move forward, you have goals, you have things like that, your friends and family aren't on board. What do you do? When you come in the chat room, please make sure you like the stream and leave me a comment in the chat so I can greet you if you want to be greeted. Certainly as a leader and a visionary and a creative person, I feel like most of the things I've ever wanted to accomplish in my life, people have not been on board with. You know what I'm saying? People have not wanted to accompany me. People have not accompanied me. People have not promoted me to do what I'm doing. Most of the support that I even have modern day comes from my social media. It comes from other like-minded people all across the globe. And what I can actually offer to you guys as a bit of advice is continue to persist towards your goals, irrespective. You have the vision that other people don't have, and that's why you see things, that's why you want things, that's why you believe in things and things like that. And you cannot neglect that because other people are not prepared to accompany you on this journey. Where I am today in 2022, I'm extremely and deeply proud of my progress. I recognize that if I were waiting for other people to accompany me, I would have none of these things under my belt, even down to, my music, my migrations, my platform, my message. All of these things are contrary to what a lot of my peers believe, or at least will express. Many people will have and share the same sentiments as you. They'll have the same desires as you, but very, very few of them will actually move into the implementation stages of those dreams and goals. When people are not on board with you, you've got to go your separate way. My thought is relationships, life is continually changing and always evolving. People that really want to be in your company, people that really want to do life with you, are going to be supportive of your growth and or accompany you in that growth. I do have friends, for instance, that, they're not necessarily going in the same direction as me, or whatever that may be, but they've been extremely supportive at every stage. One of those people, I talk about her sometimes on the channel, is honesty. It's actually quite ironic because honesty is one of the motivators to this channel. She was the one that made the suggestion many, many, many years ago about, oh, have you ever thought about having a YouTube channel. And up until the point that she said it, I never had. Honesty has inspired me in many, many ways and encouraged me in many ways throughout my creativity. You know, she knows I'm a writer. When I used to be more active on my blog, she used to support my blog. She's been supporting the channel. She sends donations periodically. She texts and keeps up with me, you know, and this is someone who is not at my side doing the things that I'm doing. You know what I mean? Currently, she's back in Columbus, Ohio, which is our hometown, and you know, but I feel like she encourages and supports my growth, which is amazing. You know what I mean? What's up, Nikki? I see you, family. Nikki's the first one in the chat today. Big shout outs to the African Superstar family. Today, I'm having a candid conversation with you about what you should do when people don't want to go your direction. For many of us, escalation is a scary thing because I think at the end of the day, we know exactly what I'm talking about today. We know that a lot of people are not prepared to accompany us. We don't really want to have that conversation. We don't really want to have to kind of gravitate away from people. But at the end of the day, I just want to kind of come to you as an example that those people that move away from you a lot of times, as you are persisting towards your goal, you will be surrounded and accompanied by dynamic people that share your like-mindedness. You know, when I was back in Ohio, and even when I lived full-time in the UK, meeting people that were like me was so extra rare. You know what I mean? I did find that by moving to the UK, I met people with more common interests, like in regards to the travel. But in regards to like my pro-Blackness, my Pan-Africanism, that has always been in short supply. Because I'm on this journey, as Honesty calls it. Journey, Honesty, she recently texted me and said, you know, your journey is interesting or something along those lines. And I'm like, honesty. But anyway, honesty calls it my journey. As you you know, go on the journey, the people that you will connect with are just dynamic. I kind of want to take a moment and acknowledge some of those people that are a part of my life. You know, starting with my little sister. You know, big shout outs to my little sister Alani. She's back in Ohio. My little sister is someone who has always been like a breath of fresh air in my life. She's extremely refreshing. She's open-minded. She's free-spirited. You know, she gives my life meaning because I know that she looks up to me, and that it's a tremendous honor to have that kind of admiration from your sibling, your junior sibling. My sister has always promoted and supported, you know, all my initiatives. She's been at my side for pivotal moments and things like that. Also, a lot of recent acquaintances that I have connected within the last several years. Sister Ya, uh, Lalit. You know, Lalit is one of my homegirls in Ghana. She's amazing. Monica, my super road dog that I absolutely love. Monica is like lively. She's, you know, so much fun. She's always positive. Um, you know, we share a lot of similarities. Eternal Blossom, aka Anita, aka Ayana Aduse. You know, she's another member of the family that I met in Ghana. You see, and this is kind of what I'm talking about, because if I weren't in Ghana, I would have never got to connect with such people. You know, I think to a certain degree, the people that are in motion to migrate or have migrated, or maybe people you might connect in the continent, you know, the probability of them being more serious about those things is higher. Now, obviously, because currently Ghana is so popular and, you know, it's become a trend, there are a lot of people with varied motivations that's bringing them to the continent. However, I would say previously and probably in other nations, You if you're meeting people from the diaspora on the continent, they probably have much more a deeper interest on the continent because they've taken that step. And that's what I realized. You know, people that you meet along your journey, a lot of them is about that life. You know, you might be wasting time with the people that are currently in your proximity, trying to get them to go with you where you need to go. But the people that are going to be where you are headed or that are in that synonymous journey with you are so dynamic. I mean, you don't have to have certain discussions with them. You don't have to explain certain things to them. You don't have to have that kind of combative interaction that a lot of us deal with, a lot of us that are unapologetic about the way that we feel, our people, the continent, et cetera, et cetera. We deal with a lot of friction, even from our general peers, because a lot of our general peers are not there yet in terms of consciousness, and they're not there yet in terms of, taking that initiative. So, I mean, these people that I've mentioned, and certainly last but not least that I want to mention right now is Nunu. That's who I'm living with currently here in the UK. All of these women are extremely dynamic. They provide the depth and actually the gratification. I actually feel like they're jewels in my crown of pursuing this unapologetic life, because maybe I might have had 30 various people in my proximity that offer this, that offer that offer this and that. But now I have such valuable individuals that offer so much more in one package. You know what I mean? I couldn't ask for a better set of people to be associated with. And I don't want to also leave out Tawo. Tawo is also, she's become family to me. And all of these relationships that I have developed, and I would say in the last 5 years, are a direct correlation of this channel and or my journey to the continent. So I've gone on this, I've digressed a bit. What's up, Superstar Bella? Big shout outs to the family. Hey guys, are you here? Y'all just want to hear my voice? Huh? What? I don't even look at my pretty face because right now I got that struggle life, guys. I need to get the hair busted. I mean, no sun, skin beat. Bruh. I look tired too, right? I'm not getting enough sleep. But what I've shared through all of this, my thoughts, I was in my thoughts today quite a bit about this topic, is you got to persist. That's what I want you to take away from this. When people are not ready to do what you need to do, what you want to do not allow that to delay you in your process. It's very, very possible and much more highly likely that you will meet people in pursuit of what you're going for, or at least along your journey, that are like-minded. When I came to Europe, for instance, world traveling is really big here. A lot of people from England and other parts of Europe, they world travel. It's part of, leisure or leisure. You know what I mean? That's something that, for instance, I faced a lot of, combative conversation in America, because a lot of people don't travel. I know that it's becoming more of a trend for some Americans and Black Americans and things like that. But historically, throughout the years, many people have this very negative connotation to world travel, African travel, things like that. And so therefore, I would always have to be explaining that. You know what I mean? oh, well, what are you going to do? It's such and such. Do you know people there? Well, I've heard this, I've heard that. It's dangerous. I remember when I was going to Mexico, people were just like, I've been to Mexico twice. I've gone to Cancun and Puerto Vallarta, and they were like, oh my gosh, the cartels, the crime. Oh my gosh, Gina, be careful, the drug activity. And it was just like, bruh. I remember the first time I went to Italy. People were warning me how racist, the Italians were and things like that. And I'll never forget the first time I traveled to the continent and I went to South Africa. A member of my church cried and begged me not to go. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, I don't deal with that on this side of the ocean. That's an example of, yet again, being in environments or among people where there's more common denominators. We are promoted to do this whole like what's called opposites attract. For us to go to the complete total polar opposite of who we are, our interests and things like that, and it's going to be like a Hollywood ending. But in reality, similarities is lit. Similarities provide comfort, they provide familiarity, they provide depth. Comfort is where it's at. In other words, birds of a feather flock together. When you guys have more common denominators, it's lit. You know what I mean? Typical church, fam. Typical church with a lot of people that have not necessarily had the opportunity to travel and things like that. And I mean, I think definitely it was out of a place of concern from that person's perspective, was that, oh my goodness, from what they've heard about that country. Most people in America, again, don't have a lot of context on world travel. When I was talking about going to South Africa, most people in the world, what they hear about South Africa is dangerous. There's rapists, there's carjackings, there's a lot of crime, and that's what a lot of people have in their mind. Apart from that, they don't really know much about South Africa. So, I told this person, she's a kind of an elder at our church, so she was just really upset and worried. And, this person is someone who has done limited international travel. I know done some islands and cruises and that kind of stuff, but no Asia, no Europe, no Africa, no South America, no, you know what I mean? So their perspective is going to be limited. But yeah, what's up, family? What to do if people are not on board with you? You're going to encounter this as a leader. You're going to encounter this as a visionary. When you do, you can't really let that be the shackles on your feet. Waiting on your best friend, waiting on your sister, waiting on your parents. Sometimes people have children that they're considering. Well, my child is established here, they go to school here, this and that. You got to make those decisions when you're in that position. I'm always of the thinking that when you have a notion, because I've gotten much better over the years of listening to that sensation, that voice that says, oh, Gina, the other day I heard it, I was going out, it was sunny here in the UK, and that voice was like, do you have your umbrella? Do you have your umbrella? Sure enough, I went out, and out of nowhere, the rain clouds came and it started pouring. And I was grateful I had the umbrella. But myself said, do you have your umbrella? When I literally was out of the house. I had to turn back around and get the umbrella and put it in my purse. The more in tune you get with yourself, the better it is, because you get these type of sensations. Something is always calling you to do whatever it is. Telling you, do this, do that, do this, do that. And we tend to second guess it. We tend to ignore it. We tend to suppress it. So, well, no, I'm not ready, this and that and the other. And many times we procrastinate our way out of things because we do not enact on that feeling. So when you have that feeling, something's telling you that you need to do and accomplish this in life or take this direction or whatever, and you don't answer it, you know? And sometimes whatever it is will become perpetually more difficult. So obviously I began this whole process of moving overseas, I'll say 2014. Okay. 2014 is when I actually, took a trip to the UK, and a friend of mine said to me, just kind of in passing, have you ever thought about living in the UK? And that was the first time I had ever entertained it. I had come to the UK earlier in the year for the very first time, and I had never entertained it. It was still relatively new to me, much less had I thought about moving there, and that's when it all began. That's when the concept first came. And from then, I have been answering the call ever since then. You know what I mean? I have been communicating with the ancestors, and I tell them, I'm like, hey, look, you know, I know you're giving me this feeling. I know you're leading me in certain directions. I don't have the means. I don't have the know-how. I don't know what's going to happen. If it's meant for me, I need those doors or a path or whatever to open. And that's how I've been, embarking on this journey, as Honesty calls it. I've been, because I'm just listening to the self. I'm listening to myself. The sensations that I'm getting, I'm listening to that instead of ignoring it. So when you're getting them, guys, you got to go. When you're getting it, it has nothing to do with the next person. What's up, family? Big shout outs to the Afrikan superstar family. Jarena Stars in the building. Superstar Bella says, small minds that cannot expand. Nikki says, I don't have people around me that have an interest in visiting Africa, let alone wanting to live there on any level. YouTubers and groups are the only similar-minded people I see or converse with. It does get challenging at times, but it hasn't changed my mind one bit. This is excellent. I mean, I don't know when you got in here, Nikki, if you heard a little bit of what I was saying earlier, but what I was saying was that, I was in your situation as well, living in America and even in the UK. Running into like-minded people has been super rare for me, and every now and then I run into someone and we'll have a conversation about relevant events, and I'll think that maybe this person is in sync with me, and then they'll just drop a bombshell. I was having a conversation the other day with someone about some type of things, and we were having an eye to eye a bit, and then all of a sudden they threw me for a left, and I was just like, oh man, I thought that we were on the same page, but if we were, how could you have those kind of thoughts about the topic that we were discussing? But what I have found, Nikki and per se, is by taking those steps, exactly what I'm advising those of you today, I have connected with the like-minded people. But I recognize that if I weren't in motion, a lot of the people that I mentioned earlier, that I kind of pay homage to, a lot of them are in Ghana. I met Ayana in Ghana. I met Lali in Ghana. I met Sister Ya in Ghana. I met Monica in Ghana. So I had to take that step to get there. If I weren't there, I would have met them. I met Ayana on the beach in Ghana. I met Lali in Ghana as a result of, working with her mom, and she watched my channel. She moved to Ghana around the same time. She actually moved to Ghana about a year before me with her family. Sister Ya, I connected with her on YouTube and social media, but actually physically met her in Ghana. So, when you decide that you're going to do this journey. And, you know, I'm talking about the continent, but it can be so many things, you know, whatever that means. It could be the fitness journey. It could be entrepreneurship. It could just be whatever deep desire that you want to do. I know, you know, the people come eventually, I think. You know, none of you guys would necessarily be here if I weren't having a YouTube channel. You wouldn't even know me. You know, the likelihood of us connecting is very, very slim, except that I am walking in my path and doing things along that journey, you know, and this is a very positive thing about social media that allows us to connect with each other that otherwise we would not have any exposure. You know, being, for instance, Pan African, pro Black, this is something that's a minority in the world, you know, not just UK or America or Germany, also on the continent. People, Black people that feel we can be self sufficient, Black people that are proud of themselves, their origins, and their continent, Black people that promote Black love and understand the importance of unity and working together. It's a rarity, you know, but social media has been able to connect some of us together, and that's extremely powerful, you know, but nonetheless, it's essential that you as the individual get ready and begin that journey. You know, it has to go beyond wanting it, because wanting it's not going to get those people in your environment. You know, people are going to, big shout out to Nana Dreams. Thanks for that super chat support. I see you. Wanting it is not going to do it for you. You know, all the well wishes and things like that. And one of the things that was extremely critical for me, this is something that I hold myself to. I hold myself to being a woman of my word and being a woman of action. Okay. So, to a certain degree, I felt a bit hypocritical living in the West, but preaching the continent. You know, I felt the pressure of eventually, I need to do this. I got to accomplish this because this is what I talk about. And if what I talk about is legit, then I gotta add that to my track record. So if you hold yourself to that accountability of delivering on your own promises, creating your own solutions, you know, sometimes that pressure of answering to yourself, you know, I want to be official. That's what me and my big sister, that's our term. When people are, you know, through and through, people you can trust, people that deliver, people that do what they say they're going to do. I need to be official, in and out, for my own edification. With that being said, I can't keep talking the continent, you know, and I'm not living the continent. I can't talk the continent and not ever experience it. You know, to me, those people are not serious. Because if you were, then you gotta have something to show for all the things. I mean, especially me, when you get out there in social media, okay, and you have a certain message, people are watching you and people are clocking everything that you say. And if you're not about that life, you know, you're not legit. You know, it looks some way. Because after all, if you had the winning lottery numbers, okay, why wouldn't you play? Why wouldn't you hit the lottery? You know, if you had the answers, if you had the secret, why wouldn't you implement it? You know, even me personally, I'm just, you know, if someone can't show me, you know, I need to see that whatever you're advising me is in effect in your life. If it's not, I'm going to assume that you're not in position to advise me on that, period. Because if you were, if you knew, if you had the juice, you would implement in your life. Obviously, anybody who would have an opportunity to do something would take advantage of that opportunity to do it, right? You know, only a person who's maybe preoccupied with lots of opportunities would be willing to forego it and, you know, share it and things like that. But let's say there's one opportunity, okay? Are you going to forego that opportunity to give it to me? Does that even make sense? So we got to start analyzing these people. I always say the same thing. I strive to be synonymous with my image. Okay. I don't just want to have the image of the African superstar. I don't want to just have the image of I'm living like this and this and that. I want my image to be synonymous with the reality of my life. But that's a personal conviction. That's a personal conviction that I have because I want to be official. So when nobody's around me and nobody knows the situation, I'm still holding myself accountable. I'm still holding myself to that standard of Gina, you got to deliver. You got to perform. I'm doing that with the music this year. The goal was to record 10 tracks, which I have done that. I've in total released 6 tracks currently, but the other 4 are still recorded. We have Shades, I Deserve, For Every Action There's a Reaction, and UK to Ghana. All those are unreleased. Okay. Behind the scenes and when nobody is there, I'm holding myself to that standard of what I committed to and what I need to do. And I'm delivering it. I'm delivering on it. When people don't want to go with you guys, go anyway. Muster up the courage to go anyway. Because once you do that, the like-minded people will come along your journey. I know, all the people that I connect with. Big shout outs. What's up, Lady Visionary? Thanks for stopping by. Big shout outs to Lady Visionary in Rwanda. Make sure you guys show her love some channel if you're not yet subscribed. It's been a long time that I've seen Lady Visionary. But she's operating a hotel resort in Rwanda. So those of you guys that are heading to Rwanda or planning trips, hello. Make sure you do your accommodations with Lady Visionary. You know what I'm saying? Tried and true. We done seen her whole progression from the UK to Rwanda, doing things with the farm, her husband, her kids, everything. So we know she's too legit. You got to go for it. She's another person. Fortunately, her husband has been on board with the process. And the two of them, they're trying to manage their journey to the continent and things like that. You got to go sometimes. You got to go. I know, Lady Visionary is also another person that migrated in 2020. A lot of us were preparing to do that at the same time. Me, Sister Ya, Tawa, Lady Visionary, a lot of us were all like, okay, the borders were shut and we were all gearing up to do what we eventually did. When the borders opened, all of us flew the coop. And there were so many questions and so many concerns and things weren't necessarily going as we wanted them to. But all of us moved forward and went the journey, and as a result, 2 years later, we are where we are. A lot of us are doing great things. I know Sister Yashi's got a farm in Ghana, doing a building project. Lady Visionary, she's got the hotel. I've branched into music. We was about that life, aren't we? And, thankfully, all of us were all still associated and friends and, things like that. Like-minded people are going to be along on the journey, and that's what I have to say. Big shout out. Jarena Star is currently in Ethiopia because of that comment. I know where she is. Ethiopia is her country of origin. So big shout outs to Jarena Star. I'm glad it's working out for you. Lady Visionary says the hotel is now open. So anybody heading to Rwanda, you know what it is. Go spend your dollars with Lady Visionary, your dollars, pounds, euros. I know the place. I haven't ventured there, but obviously when I go, I'll be down there. But I know that I know Lady Visionary personally. We've met up. She's a very wonderful lady. So I know that her hotel is going to be in good order. She's also, from England, and those people, they're very particular about a lot of things. So I'm pretty sure the hotel is lit. But what's the name of the hotel, Lady Visionary, for people that might be interested? Look you up on Google, check your reviews, huh? I know you're probably listed on all the booking sites, hotels, and blah blah blah. Let us know the name of your resort. Jarena Star says, Lady Visionary inspired me when I was stuck because of the lockdown. Big shout outs to the family. Well, this is it, and so these are my thoughts today because I was just thinking about the big picture. I was thinking about the journey, and I was just like, wow, I really, really can look back over the journey and I'm so excited, because I'm like, wow. And I mean, I had to do a lot of these things all by myself. I left the US, came to the UK all by myself. I moved to Ghana, all by myself. Um, I've embarked on a lot of stuff, started the business, all these things by myself. You know what I mean? With support from obviously my viewers, things like that. Well wishes from family and friends. My sister came to spend some time with me in Ghana. So, but ultimately I'm the engine in the car. You feel me? I'm making it happen. And that's the perspective you need to take if you really, really want to see fruit from your dreams. And if you want to achieve your dreams, achieving your dreams, it don't got to be a lifelong thing, guys. Yeah, achieving your dreams doesn't got to be a lifelong thing. Okay. It's as simple as putting that thing on the docket as to what you want to accomplish and then finding a strategic way to get there. Maybe something you've been wanting to do for years, you could achieve in a month. Just imagine that. I'm not necessarily one of these people that does like bucket lists. Okay. I believe to continually be achieving or driving at whatever it is that's on your horizon to do. Okay. You don't got to have lifelong dreams. You don't got to wait till retirement. Things don't have to be complex and, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you want to travel the world and you're thinking, oh, I got to have a fortune. You can travel the world very frugally. You can get hostels where you go or affordable hotels. You can get discount tickets. You can go in off season. There's a lot of things that you can do to facilitate that dream. So that's what I really wanted to communicate to you guys. I'm definitely a testament of going forward without people accompanying me. And maybe some of you guys are the kind of people that you always roll in a group. You always are with your partner, you're with your friends. You've never really had to branch out there and do anything on your own. Probably doing something on your own would be a bit liberating because you don't have to correspond with anyone. You don't have to accommodate anyone. You're on your own time. If you travel, you don't got to wait for nobody to get dressed. You just get up and go do what you want to do, and it's a bit freeing. And the older I get, I always wanted, obviously, like a big crowd of people. I've always loved community and things like that. But the older I get, the more I realize, nah, I got it good. I like how it's rolling. You know what I mean? And it's an issue about quality and not quantity. I rather have maybe 5 quality people around me than, 50 people around me who I can't count on, can't call on, don't relate to, these kind of things. So big shout out. Lady Visionary is backing me up. She says, I built the hotel in a year and we ain't millionaires. We just have to get started. Big shot. Lady Visionary. Excellent. She basically solidifies what I'm talking about. I mean, she built a hotel. Now that's something that people might say, it's my dream to do something like that. Well, you know, I mean, I moved to Africa. I've world traveled. I've lived in England, you know. Um, I've done a lot of things that would be on some people's horizon as world dreams, lifelong dreams, blah blah blah. No, by my age, less than 40, I was able to do all those things. I'm now doing music. I just literally decided, "Yeah, I'm about to do music." You know, it was a fantasy of mine to make a music video. But at the time I wanted to make a music video, I wasn't even into music. I wasn't even thinking about I want to make a music video, write a song and create it and things like that. But I'm doing and living what I want real time. Big shout outs. We got Drina Star in here. She want to come on the show. Hi, sweetie. What's up? How are
Hi,
you? Wow,
I'm
you look really
fine.
happy.
Yeah, I'm in the dancing mood. Yeah, I just want to let you know that, we have some amazing plants here in Africa, which I
Wow.
use.
What is that you're growing?
Well, I picked it from my mum's garden,
Wow.
and what I do, I don't know if you recognize this plant, but my lovely assistant put it in the salad. It's
Mm.
it's kind of like grass, like it's got a really soft grassy bit,
So it's
and
nice.
um, and it has a lovely smell. And I use that. I got some rosemary in here, and I
Mm.
just got some plants from when I went on holiday. I just loved the tree, and I just plucked it and put it in the cup to grow it here. Um,
Wow.
yeah. inter African travel. That's one thing that I enjoy about being on the continent, is that you can just hop on an internal plane and see different parts of the country, and it looks so different from where you're
Yeah.
staying. You don't
Wow.
even need to go through passport check-in. You just get on the plane. And that's
Go
something I
domestic.
love. Yeah. And then I went and got some moringa tea. Like they eat the leaf as a salad. I thought it was kale. But in
Wow.
that part of the region, the leaf is like they can have it like straight off the tree and cook it as a like a
Wow.
spinach. I didn't know that, and I thought, oh my god, what a tasty spinach! I was thinking, what tasty kale, because it was so green. And then I asked them, they're like, that's moringa tree, and I'm like, oh, but I thought it was tea. I thought moringas, but I managed to buy the dried leaves, and that's what
Okay.
I'm like now. You know what I mean? So these are the little dry leaves of moringa.
I wish
I think
I
they're
like want to take a bite and see what it tastes like.
so super healthy. I know there's loads of it in Rwanda. I know Rwanda grows a lot of moringa tree, but we should just really appreciate the
Wow.
herbal stuff that Africa has to offer. Um, and
Oh.
just it's abundant. But I'm not. I mean, you've got a plan. Gina's right. You've got a plan. You can't just turn up with an empty
Yeah.
suitcase. That would be crazy if you do that. I'm African, so I won't do that. And it's not
Absolutely.
easy. It's not easy. I mean, doing business with Africans is another course in itself. But
It's not a
it's not straightforward, is it, Gina?
well, I mean, these are the knocks that go along
Yeah.
with the process, but the I think the key is getting started. You know what I mean? And I think obviously as a young lady too, the sooner you get started, the more acclimated you become. Like for instance, me, I'm so acclimated now to Ghana. It's
hmm
amazing. And I think
hmm
with you, going back and forth and stuff to Ethiopia, that's also reconnecting you because when we live abroad, you get disconnected. You know what I mean? So
So true.
you get disconnected. So it's a process. And I think sometimes we do also put a lot of pressure on ourselves as the diaspora, like, I want to get there, hit the ground running, or I've wasted so much time abroad, so I need to get things moving. But really, it's a process,
It's a
But you look
process.
so happy. I mean, gosh, you just
Oh,
keep
thank you.
smiling.
Thank you. I mean, I'm surprised you're still smiling. How many weeks have you been there?
It's been a month. It's been a month. It's been a month.
You're a
Yeah,
very strong person. How do you
girl, I'm
deal
trying
with
to
the
make this
the
dream.
BS?
I'm trying to
Well
do
done.
it, girl. But I have a little hope. I have a little hope in my heart because obviously it's limited time. So I do
Yeah.
know that. So that makes me happy.
Do you miss Ghana right now?
To the max. Wow. Is that the Moringa?
That's the moringa. When it goes in the water, look how green it is. None of this crushed, nasty stuff you buy on Amazon. This is really nice,
Wow.
like it melts. And this is how green it is. Like, imagine like fresh off the tree and eating that. That's just like,
That's
it's
really
amazing.
nice. The fresh off the tree stuff. That's hot.
Yeah, it grows. I got it from that part of the region, and this is just dried moringa, and and turns the tea green, and it's
Okay.
very good for you. And I know for a fact it grows. I don't know if it grows in Ghana, but it
I don't
grows
know.
in Rwanda. That's for sure. It grows in Rwanda and stuff.
Wow.
So
It looks nice.
we've got
Are
our
you
own
gonna
tea. We've got
are you gonna spend the holiday season there? Or have you decided yet?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I've set up my own Black women's group, Highgate Black Women's Wellness
Yes.
Group. It's
Yes.
expanded on the continent. I've got so much like plans for it. It's going to be
That's
great. I'm in touch with, I don't know if you know Swahili Nation.
no.
Swahili Nation, the Tanzanian guy with his own media platform.
Wow. So
Yeah,
you linked
him.
up with him. Okay.
Yeah, he's here. He's actually right now in the capital city, and I'm working with him. I did an interview with him, so I'll be featured. My Black Women's Group will be featured there, and there's a possibility that I might, work with him as a freelance journalist, something like that. But the
Ah,
future is very bright in Africa, and I think
excellent.
what we need is African-owned media, just to counteract
Yes.
the other medias that just tell so much BS about Africa and Africans. I mentioned I
Indeed.
mentioned to him things like Al Jazeera, which I call Alger, Shitter. That's what I call it. But we need an alternative media, and I'm
You're working
willing
on
to
that a
invest.
little bit. There you go.
Yeah,
Well,
I can see the value in his corporation, and I'm trying to be a part of it, like use my wisdom and skill because I know it'll get somewhere. And that's it, really. Just, watch it grow and stuff. But yeah, Highgate Black Women's Wellness Group is helping African women. So that's my thing. I help Black British women and African
yes,
women.
yes.
Because
That's
we are,
excellent.
and if you also look historically, um, I know my bookshelf is quite bare right now, but if you look historically, I have some, really ancient books. But I'm
Yeah, I know
sorry, but
you showed me some books before, like some of the books that you were currently reading at the time.
no, I managed to bring two like really amazing ancient books. Like I have this here. It's so amazing. The Europe was African a long time ago. Like Europe was part of Africa, especially
Mm,
Britain.
yeah.
If you look at Britain, they used to follow the religion of the ancient Egyptians. So, Black British people have been around Britain
Oh
since
yeah, yeah.
yonks.
Blacks have been in
They were
Europe
the
for a
first
long time.
people.
People act like, they have not been a part, but they've totally been a part of the history of Europe.
Yeah,
Lady
yeah.
Visionaries asking for your Instagram
Me.
name. Yes.
Sure, sure, sure. I will. I'll drop her a message. I don't know if she's on Instagram. I can follow her and she can see my journey, because I'm into the health foods, and most importantly, bridging a gap between, because Black British people have their own identity, and because I'm dual,
Yeah.
that connection, and it's
Yeah.
great to see people like Lady Visionary and her lovely camping. And I just came back from a retreat, amazing retreat. So I can imagine hers is just as amazing with the view. Although I didn't go on the crocodile lake. I don't like crocs. I'm sorry. I eat Nile
Yeah. Be
crocs.
careful
I
around
don't.
the crocodiles.
I don't mess with Nile crocs. Nile crocs are evil. They eat humans. Um,
I don't know much about crocodiles. I'll take your word for it.
Oh my God. I don't mind them being turned into leather boots. I mean, into shoes and
Oh my
belts. I really don't mind. It's fine.
listen. I
There's
don't
too
want
many of
you
them.
causing Peter people to come on my platform. Okay, no. I don't. Listen, these are not the thoughts and opinions of the African superstar. Okay, hold on. We're gonna bring
Yeah.
Lady Visionaries on, so I think she probably want to talk to Jarena Star.
Oh,
Hi,
hello,
sweetie.
hello.
Hey, hey, hey.
Oh, hi, Lady Visionary.
Hi, how are you? How are you? Sorry I can't
I'm.
be on cam. I'm actually in bed and the kids
Oh,
and but
bless.
I thought I had to come on to say hi and hope everything is well because I know doing the stuff from my channel actually from when I'm doing my lives and stuff. So but I didn't know that you had left the UK. You've left the UK now.
Yeah, to do my startup, which is Highgate Black Women's Wellness Group, is to expand it on the continent. And I've got my group set up, it's registered. You know, it's also a social enterprise. So, I've been very lucky and blessed to have got funding for it and stuff. And yeah, it's been going great. It's really, I put my heart into it. I started it over lockdown for Black British women, and I've gone on the continent to establish it here. And one of the things I want is retreats, and your retreat looks perfect for the Black women in my group. And also working with African women, traveling around selling their products. That's the next mission. I, I I made it. I just got on with it really, and I don't know what you think of my idea, Lady Visionary.
No, I think it's great. I think, the fact that, people are coming together and building something, building a legacy is going to be absolutely amazing. So keep going. I'd love to learn more about your project. Obviously, I'm here in Rwanda and I've built the hotel, as I was saying earlier, in just a year. Like it's crazy.
Amazing.
And
Wow.
as I was saying, I'm not a millionaire. I've had so many different struggles, but I've just kept going. And coming back to the topic, what do you do when, people are not supportive of your agenda? I think
Yeah,
most of all, you've got to, believe in what you're doing, find purpose in what you're doing, because there will always be people who I don't know, maybe bad mind or they just, I don't know, but there'll always be that challenge with regards to people and how they feel towards you and what you're doing. But I think you definitely just have to be grounded in who you are, know what you want, and just keep on going regardless, because there'll be a lot of noise. But if you
Yeah.
allow that noise to, just penetrate you, then you won't get very far. Because what I've done in Rwanda, it's like I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet, but it's really
babe.
phenomenal. Some days I'm
It's
like, did
extraordinary.
I
That's what
just
I was just about to ask you. I was just about to ask you 2 years ago, around this time when we were going, would you imagine that you built a hotel? You know what I mean? Like that's
like
crazy,
it's
you know?
been crazy because here in Rwanda there were like strict lockdowns. People were like, visitors. It was just really a challenging time during COVID and all the restrictions, the lockdown. People weren't coming. There were just so many hurdles, and during that time where Rwanda was literally silent, I was just like, wow, like no visitors, no. So I'm thinking, my God, who's gonna come to my hotel? Like, and people were like, Lady Visionary, you should just give this up. And I was just like, I went out there, just sat there. The place is the lake is surrounded by the lake.
It's
It's
on the lake,
beautiful
yeah.
scenery, yeah. And I just like
Yeah.
sat there and just allowed myself to just meditate and concentrate and just really kind of focus on the vision. And like something was just saying, just keep pushing, just keep going. And I'm glad I listened to that, because during that time I was also hearing a lot of noise from people telling me to give up. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I've put in so much energy, time, everything. I'm not about to give up now. So I just kept on going. Obviously, there were like, and still are financial struggles, but we've just managed to just keep pushing and open. Like we've been open about 3.5 months, maybe 4 months now. We've
So
had
how's it going?
international get. Yeah, I mean, things are slow with any business. You have to, strategize your
Yeah,
marketing
yeah.
and so on. but we are hosting people from all around the world right now. And it's like,
Wow.
what? And, if you go and look at all our Google reviews, I think we've got about 10, all of them are 5-star, and it's not even where I want it to be yet. So I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so grateful, but it shows that hard work pays off. And regardless of if people believe in your agenda, there will be people out there who do. And that's what matters most. Just keep pushing, just keep going. 2 years ago, I didn't even have the land, I didn't even have the land where the hotel is built
Where the hotel
on.
is now.
Yes, I didn't even have the land. Like, it's just crazy.
That's what it's like. And this is why, going to the topic, this is exactly what I was talking about. Nikki made a comment of, there's like nobody around her that is similar minded. Lady Visionary, she's another person who I don't think we've had long talks about our journey and things like that. And she's never like lost heart or even considered, she's always been very, very determined on the no.
Yeah.
I'm going to go forward to the
that was very impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah, and I've loved that about her. Because I have that same drive, which is by any means necessary. We know the alternative. We're already fed up with the situation in the West. So we got to make it happen. Like we just have to create it. And here you're hearing a ongoing success story of someone who is making their African dream. And like I said, it didn't, she's a young lady. Okay. She's in my peer group. She's not 50, 60, no offense to our older viewers, but it's not something that she had to spend a lifetime to do. You know what I mean? She's just put her head to it and is in the middle. And I mean, 10 years from now, that will be like, her anniversary, her 10-year anniversary of being open and operational. And it'll be like, wow, but everybody starts from somewhere, so I think we're all somewhere. Sharing.
Yes, definitely. I would encourage other viewers out there, who are thinking about, because, there's this famous saying, like the richest place is the graveyard, because there were so many hopes and dreams and books that should have been written and so on. So many ideas that didn't come to fruition. And people are just laying in the graves with those ambitions. And I did not want to be one of those people. And so many people out there who are listening in right now have a passion, they have a vision, they have something that they want to do. And I would say just get started. Go for it. Filter out the noise. Don't allow your own self-belief or low self-esteem or lack of confidence to stop you from moving forward and just living out your dreams. Start today. Like, I can't believe that, I've managed to build a hotel, and it's just because, I've had, your circle is very important as well. Like, people who are encouraging to you, friends who are not jealous, friends who are like, just motivate you and just keep pushing you forward, because, Black people, we need to start striving above above that line now. We need to start building wealth. We need to start building our legacy. We need to start believing in ourselves. We need to recognize that we're great people and greatness is within us, and we can do anything we put our mind to. And my journey is a testament to that. And I'm like, if I can do it, with just believing and the little finance that I have been able to create what I've been able to create. Imagine those who are out there who have more than me and can do more than me. So it's really amazing. Just get started. Just be motivated and just get started and just be consistent. Because I'm not going to say that it's been easy. I'm not going to say that there hasn't been tears.
Absolutely.
But most of all, there has been consistency, drive, passion. If you're on the continent, you must know that you have to adapt. You have to become resilient. And we are resilient as a people because our ancestors have demonstrated that. It's in our bloodline for us to be resilient. It's in our bloodline for us to win. So you have to believe that and just drive with force and just keep going, because you will win.
Man, you guys, listen. Y'all see how turned up Lady Visionary is? She claims she's in bed.
I am in bed.
She's all the way turned up right now, trying to motivate you folks to get it together. But yes, it's very true, and I'm so happy that you two have called in, and Lady Visionary, you shared your story because it goes along with the topic, which is, when people don't support your endeavors, and furthermore, whatever it is that you're doing, you should love that thing and you should pursue that thing irrespective of other people. It should be for you, and that way you can have that peace of mind. Like she talked about, she didn't want to have this idea, well, what if I built a hotel? How would it do? Well, then come and see someone later on build a hotel in that very spot on the lake and it be a major success. And she'll be like, oh my gosh, I had that idea 10 years ago. A lot of us, we've heard people say that or said it ourselves. Oh, I had an idea for Uber, 20 years ago, or I had an idea for this business, this coffee shop. And you weren't the one to bring it to light. Someone else did. And then you're sitting back watching them, do whatever you had the mind to do, So I'm really proud of her. And I look forward to coming to Twin Recreational when I get an opportunity to come to Rwanda. Definitely, I'm going to stay there.
You're
No
most
other place am I
welcome.
going to
You're
stay.
most welcome. I'm looking forward to hosting you.
Oh, yes. I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. And see
But
my
also, I
nephews
want to
again.
say,
I look
also, I
forward to
wanted to
coming
say to
to
you,
with my group of women.
oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's connect, and it's all about supporting each other. I would love to know more about
Thank you.
your project. And also, African Superstar, I just want to say, you've just been amazing. Keep going with what you're doing. I know, we've all had our challenges out here,
Hey.
but what I can see that you're very determined, and that's what matters. Determination matters, passion matters, and just keep pushing forward, because that's what's helped me and my family in Rwanda. And when you move that step closer towards your goals and aspirations, there is a different drive and energy that comes, and it's like you can never give up until you win. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
see that passion in you, and I just want to keep on encouraging
Thank
you.
you.
And it's also encouraging for me and also the viewers out there. So keep going, because you're doing a phenomenal job.
Thanks. But I feel closer than ever, to be honest. I used to
Yeah.
feel so much further away, from where I want to be. But I can honestly say I regularly assess my life along with mortality. And it's kind of like, okay, if something happened to me, how do I fare on the scale of achievement in my life? And I can honestly say, I'm where I want to be. I'm where I need to be at this moment. And I'm actively pursuing the goals. So I feel very, very happy and confident about that. Like you said, it's peace of mind. We don't have any unanswered questions about the journey so far, because we're on the journey and we're actually enacting on it. Because I don't have to wonder, okay, what's it like if I were to be living in Ghana? What would it be like if I wrote that song or shot the music video? I'm doing all those things, so I know what it's like. And it's great. It's a lot of fun, and I'm so happy. And more
your
important,
vision, your drive is amazing.
I'm what's most important, the part I love about it is getting to, converse with other like-minded people, hearing what you guys are doing on the continent, seeing your blossom, seeing it become a reality. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I remember when Lady Visionary and I were having a conversation, she was wanting to ship her car to Rwanda. Yes, you remember that? And
Yes.
It's so funny.
and it was so
It's
much
so funny
drama,
because
and
my
it was
mum
like
called me.
expensive, and she was just like, oh my God. And now, it's just so interesting. I remember those moments. So yeah, it's been a whirlwind 2 years so far, but I'm proud of us. I'm very proud of us.
Well,
And I'm
you
proud of the
started it,
platform.
African Superstar. You started this whole movement, and it's really
Man.
inspiring to see you do it. And despite your knockbacks, it just makes you even more determined. I think that's very that's very positive, you know, to see
Thank you,
us,
Doreen.
to
Thank
see
you.
you
Thank
carry
guys,
on.
man. The
And
love. I feel the
You
love.
know, I just want to say as well that a lot of the times when we we go through different challenges, a lot of people, when you're nearing that point of success, or when they're nearing that point of success, they just give up, you know. But the real strength is in keeping on going, because that goal, that vision is bigger than you. And imagine, like, you're just about to touch it, but because
You
you
give
know you're
up.
going through, yeah, you give up. I'm like, because you know, you said something earlier on, and you said something about, you know, maybe I've never had my moment, but I've had my moment where, like, I called my husband because he was in the UK at the time, and because I was going through, like, it was just hard, you know, when
Yeah.
you're relocating and then starting from scratch. It's a real challenge. You have to have a different mindset. You need to be ready. You need to be prepared. And I remember a day where I was just like at the hotel, and I had enough. I felt like I had enough. And I called my husband. I was like, book my ticket back to the UK. He was like, hang on, Lady Visionary, what's going
What's
on?
going on?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was confused. He was just like, right, just sleep over it, and we're gonna talk tomorrow. He didn't even stay on the phone. He just hung up.
you know, you just
And then
missed all the thrills, you know, like,
in the
Shout out
morning,
to Patrick.
yeah,
Patrick was like, I don't know what she talk about,
yeah, yeah. He
but
was just like, she's on something. So
yeah,
the next day I called him and I was like, I'm feeling okay. I'll continue the journey. He was like, that's my girl. That's the girl I know. That's Lady Visionary. She
that's
never gives
Lady
up.
Visionary.
And you know, it was like a few months from there that we were able to open up. We got all the operational license and everything like that.
Sorted
So
out.
just
That's
at that
good.
point where I was about to give up, something was around the corner which was going to open doors for me.
Open up your hotel.
Now
There
we
you
have
go.
people. Now we have people traveling in from all over the world to come and stay at Twin Lakes Recreational Resort, and like 100% of our reviews have been nothing but positive, and you know, we've had
Babe,
feedback
listen.
that's going to
This is
help
this
us
is this is this is
grow.
just the beginning for your hotel. I'm telling you. How many rooms do you have in there?
We have how many rooms? We only have 7 at the moment.
Okay.
We can accommodate like 13 to 14, but we're
Okay.
planning on
Okay.
expanding
Of course
as
you're
you
gonna
know business
expand.
grows. Yes.
Of
This
course,
is
of course.
this is this project was built in a year, but it's the year one of a 5-year project, and it's phase
Okay.
one of 3 phases.
Okay, okay. Yeah, because
Yeah.
because sometimes you just gotta everything. I'm so happy you called in today, babe. But
Oh,
everything that you are saying is like in line with the topic of this message, which is get started. You know what I mean? Because you can get the hotel at least open, operational. You can get the reviews. You can get people familiar with its existence and everything, and then you expand as it expands. You know what I mean? But you're not delaying the whole entire process. Okay, I want to open a hotel with 50 rooms, and waiting until you're in a position to do that. You're rolling. Okay, let's get started with these 5-10 rooms we got, and then we can add additional rooms, we can expand, we have more land, blah blah blah. And it's amazing. And I mean, I took kind of a similar approach in terms of I wanted obviously what most people want on the continent, land. Love to have some land, love to build obviously my mansion with the pool. Hello.
yes, I
But
remember.
yes. Hello. But I'm there, okay, right now, the most important thing is me to begin to establish myself in Ghana, me to familiarize myself, me to create the networks. So I'm going to go there. I'm renting an apartment currently. But I mean, what I've gained from already living in Ghana is invaluable. That's something a friend of mine, recently said, George, we were talking and he was like, you are in a position that even so many Ghanaians are not in position. Ghana. You can literally take a flight to Ghana on your own, navigate the city, you have relationships, you know what I mean? Like you're matriculated and that's invaluable. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. He's like, there's people that don't know their way around their own homeland, and you've broken past that. And so it's just about start. I'm so excited. I mean, our 10-year anniversary, 2030. All right. It's 8 years away so far. But our
Wow.
10-year anniversary, like, what we gonna be doing, Lady Visionary, on the continent?
Wow. Well, I see big things. I see
I
bigger
do
things and
too.
better
I do
things.
too.
And
I do too, man.
you
I'm
know, I've
excited.
yeah, I've actually looked that far down the road, and I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, wow. Like it's really going to be truly amazing. And it's something, being able to like be at this position, living life without regrets, and just during the challenges and the hurdles, just enjoying the journey, and just knowing that you're going to win regardless of the challenges,
Man. Man.
because it is, this is we've stepped outside the box, we've stepped outside our comfort zones, and just believing that we can make life outside of the West and the Americas, and
Yes.
believing that we can make a contribution, and seeing that into fruition, and seeing how that's growing, and how things have become more transparent, that's going to allow us to move even further ahead. So it's really something to be proud of. And I think
And Lady Visionaries also, she's doing the generational wealth. That's something we talk about. I mean, can you build a hotel here in UK, babe, to give to your sons?
exactly, like what I've been able to achieve here in Rwanda. Like, I don't want to
One
blow my own
year.
trumpet, but in one year,
One
it's phenomenal,
year.
because
One
like
year.
in the UK, where would I be owning land? Where would I be building a hotel? Because they have blocked us from building our wealth. We don't own anything in the West. We don't own anything in the Americas. It's now
Where
time for
where
that to
where would the
change.
farm be at?
Yeah,
Where would your
yeah.
farm be in the UK?
Exactly. I have a farm. Imagine, I have a farm at the hotel. We do farm to table. I have cows, goats, chickens, rabbits, so on so. And I also have a big vegetation of different fruits and vegetables that we take from the farm,
Where
and
will
then
all
we
that be in
serve
the
it.
UK?
We serve it on the plate. So we're offering a different experience. Like, imagine I have a farm. Where in the UK would I own a farm? Tell me. Because all the farmlands are owned by the Muzungus, or in here
That's
we say
right.
Muzungu. Yeah. So
Yes.
this is something we're changing the narrative now, and more of the
Man.
diaspora community need to hop over on this side and start building generational wealth. Because when you look at the statistics, in America, so American viewers can actually go and look at the statistics themselves. The percentage of Black people who it's like 3%. We don't build legacy. We own we have liabilities that keep taking money out of our pockets. We don't
There
have
you go.
assets, and it's time for that to change, because we need to change that, because our children, we need to pass something on to them. we
That's
need
right.
to we need to start changing that narrative, and just start to build our wealth, and lead by example. Gone are the
Yes.
days where like
Wow.
all the message,
Woo!
when families, when a mother dies, or a father dies, there's nothing that they've passed on to their children except for some trainers. What?
That's it.
We
Listen, you
need to
guys.
build legacy. We need to build wealth, and we need to build legacy, right? And so that's what I'm doing here in Rwanda. And it
There
doesn't
you
matter if
go.
people they're not on the agenda. Well, if they're not on the agenda, they're going to get left behind. They're going to get left behind, right?
Woo! Y'all see
So,
Lady Visionary. I told y'all she supposed to be in bed, but she's all the way turned up. If you guys don't know Lady Visionary, she's a close friend of mine, but she's also a creator here on YouTube. Please do go to her channel and see her journey in Rwanda, with the hotel, with the farm, with her husband, with her kids. She migrated from the UK to Rwanda 2 years ago, 2020. Around the same time we was all leaving. When the borders opened, we all bounced. Me, her, and Sister Yah, we all left. So big shout outs to Lady Vision.
yeah.
But she's turned up, but she's keeping it real. She's keeping it real. These are the things that we talk in our private conversations. Where am I going to have a farm in the UK? Where am I going to
Yeah.
have a hotel? You know what I mean? her boys. I mean, if you watch her channel or see her Instagram, you see them blossoming, beautiful, young boys, free, playing with the animals on the farm. They look so happy. And it's just
They
like,
are very happy. They're
they're
so
so
happy.
happy.
Their responsibility on the farm, because we were living out there for 7 months whilst I was building the project. So their responsibility was finding the food for the rabbits. So they know their
Oh,
responsibility on the farm. They love it. They love it. Seeing
oh,
them
that is so nice.
run and jump and just be free. And you
Yes.
know, and there was a day where my 4-year-old, because I have a sign up there that says Lady Visionary, and my son, he read it. He said, Lady Visionary. And I was like, okay. I looked at him. I said, who's Lady Visionary? And he said, Mummy. And I was like,
Oh,
he's 4 years old. He's seeing
he
everything that
knows
I'm
what it is.
doing.
He
He
knows
knows
what
what
it
it is.
is.
And that's why it's important that we lead by example. These
Yes.
kids, they're so young, but they're looking at us, and we have to shape their future. And I just wanted to say as well, actually, because I'm Mama. Oh God, my kids are in the background kissing me, kissing me. All right,
They're there.
okay, all right,
They're
okay.
there. They're there. They're coming.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Thank you so much. I'm getting like 100 kisses. But
Oh,
with the hotel project, in that area of Lake Burera in Rwanda, I'm the first investor. I'm the first investor in my village. I've been able to make such a significant impact with the local people, helping to reduce the level of crime, helping to engage the community in work through the building project. So families can send their children to school, so they can pay for their insurances for hospital, and so on and so forth. So my work has been so impactful, and
wow.
we're continuing to just build and be impactful. We've started a water project, bringing clean water
Yes, that's
to
another
the
thing she's
village
doing.
of,
She's
yes,
doing the water project. Man,
yes.
listen, Lady Visionary, listen.
So,
Hey.
and January, I'm about to launch a library, but it's not just any library. It's the first library. We will have a range of books, but we also have books that, Kian, please, okay. We'll also have books, black books that black children can really relate to, and also books that teaches children about their history. And this will be the
Amen.
first here in the northern region of Rwanda, if not the whole of Rwanda, actually.
I'm
So
sure. I'm sure
we're
about that.
looking for people to donate books, specifically black books that children can relate to. We have the building for the library, and we're hoping to launch by January of next year, 2023, if not February. So if
Wow.
anybody's out there who wants to support with books, not asking for money, I'm asking for books. If they're coming to Rwanda, come come donate some books, of different ranges for children and adults.
Wow. I'm just blown away. Guys, I'm even so happy I had this live stream because I've had a long day today, and I was like, well, maybe I should do it another day. And I'm like, no, no, no. It was on my mind to talk about this. And I'm just so delighted that my girl has called in and co-signed and shared all the dynamic things that she's doing in Rwanda. And this is what we've been talking about on this channel, my channel, her channel, so many other content creators, is about basically what we can bring to the continent. These are things that maybe local people are not really thinking about. We know that many continentals are preoccupied with the opportunities in the West and things like that. But if you come to the continent and you basically pollinate, she's also a mother. Lady Visionary's got these beautiful, my nephews, beautiful young men, young boys. And so, from a mother's perspective, library, there's none in our area. I know when I was growing up, I used to go to the library all the time and read, and it was so exciting. So that's amazing. She's thinking about that, and then had the idea, well, what, why don't we crack on and try to bring this to our environment? And these are historic, iconic things. The first investor at her lake, to build a hotel, to own a farm, to have migrated from the UK. You know, like all these things are iconic historical things that can be a source of pride for your family, you know, Lady Visionary, your family, and others to know that these are the kind of things that we can bring. And this is what we should be doing as a diaspora, you know, not the nonsense that we see some people doing, but basically whatever resources that we have or ideas that we can implement and creating conveniences and luxuries for our peers on the continent. That's what we should do. And at the same time, when we do that, like Lady Visionary, you become historic. You become iconic by simply giving back, by simply being, you know, um, that visionary person so adequately named Lady Visionary, but being that visionary among your peers. And it's also an example. Her sons are seeing what she's doing, but I'm sure that's not the only people that are seeing. You know, local Rwandese are also seeing her. And I know it's inspiring to young ladies or other people in your village, and you know all the things that you're doing. The I mean, this is absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't be any more proud of you. Honestly, Carrie, I could not
Thank you
be
so
any
much.
more proud
Thank
of you.
you.
It's phenomenal, and you know, I can commit to sending some books for the project for the library. I know
Oh,
there's some
thank
books
you.
that I have some books in mind that I would love to send that are illustrated with, you know, black children and stuff like that. So as we get closer, I'll organize that and get them to you. So yeah,
Thank you
that, you
so
know,
much.
yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Wonderful.
Thank you, and thank you for like this topic, because even I came in, um, and something was just pulling me. You have to come in. You have to say, because I was just gonna be a viewer, and just like in the comment section, but something just pulled me to just come in and just say a few words. So I'm really happy that you did open up the stream for that. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad that if you were thinking that you were tired, but you said let me just do it, and it was
Yeah.
meant to be. Everything aligns where it should be, and I definitely believe in that. So yeah, thank you, and thank you for all the work that you're doing as well, inspiring us as well. So don't think that your work
Man.
is too small. It's
Nah,
definitely
this is great.
impactful.
I'm so excited. These stories
Yeah.
get me all the way turned up because I'm just like, wow, 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 wow. So proud of you. Wow. This is what I want on the continent. And I actually know people that are doing the work, you know, and it's just amazing because I think together we are working actively for a better tomorrow, you know, and we're
Yeah.
being a part of the solution because obviously if other foreigners came and did these things, you know, some people would have an attitude. Oh, well, the Chinese are there and the Lebanese are there and the Europeans are there and the Swedish man came and built the resort. And it's like, okay, but you know, if we're not stepping up and doing it. So I'm just so happy. Like I'm happy to have an option to go stay in a black owned hotel when I go to Rwanda. Like I think that's
Amazing.
just like super dynamic. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like that's so lit. Like, oh yeah, I get to because sometimes you want to patronize a black owned service, but it might not be around, or you might not know it, or it might not even exist, you know?
exactly.
Um, but obviously I know, you know, I've been in your personal home. I know what you're like. So I'm like, oh, I think this is gonna be great. You know, and I know when it comes to business, you know, you want things done properly. So I feel
Yeah,
really confident about what you're developing down there. So it's amazing. I'm happy you called in. It's good to hear your
thank
voice,
you.
and I'm very proud of everything you're doing. So I'm definitely going to support the library project.
Thank
So
you so much. I just
you get
wanted
the
to say thank
details.
you to Kimla as well, because Kimla said I will commit some books as well. If you
Yes.
could, I don't know if I can send out my email so if people who want to, donate books, if they're coming to Rwanda, donating books, even if it's just 10 or 15 books, whatever you can commit to. But we need more books for the library, because this is a project that's on my heart, and I don't know where
Yeah.
all the resources are going to come from, but I know that the diaspora out there can help.
Yeah,
And if
so
you
you
have it in
you
your
need
heart to
to
help,
get me you
please
need to
do.
get me like I don't know if you like drawn I mean maybe you haven't yet, but maybe if you draw up like a flyer about a book,
Yes.
you know, black authors, black children's books and these kind of things. And I can definitely post that and kind of push that on my social media to help us get more books and stuff for the project. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So we can do that. Because
So
I personally know an author who does black, you know, nursery
uh,
stories and stuff. So I would love to send those down there, you know. So this is exciting. I'm excited. See, 2023, turn up. 2023, turn up. It's going to be a big year for me too. So, you know, I'm excited, babe. I'm so happy. Wow. So yeah, if you guys are watching a playback, you're not subscribed to Lady Visionary, please do um, get on her channel. That way you'll see more about what she's doing. But obviously I'm going to follow up on the project, the library project. And any of you guys are interested in books, we need to send books. If you know authors, and it doesn't matter where you are from, it would be amazing if we can have you know, Nigerian authors and Ghanaian authors and all this stuff. You know, we can just send. It's a library. It's the first and only of its kind in Rwanda, probably maybe on the continent. Hello. So we need to show up for this and turn out. So I lost everybody, but it's okay. We've been on for quite a while. And I just want to thank everybody for viewing. I also want to big shout outs to Nana Dreams, our one and only super chat donor on this episode. The moral of the story is drive at your dreams. We had Jarena Star and Lady Visionary call in and talk about how they're innovating their projects on the continent. And I think, you know, all of us have different things to contribute. Some people are behind the scenes people. Some people are going to be the financiers of these projects. Some people are going to be the face of these projects. Some people are going to be like the motivation of these projects. But everybody has a relevant part to play. But the more of us that begin walking towards our destination and you know, creating that bridge, the more dynamic it's going to be. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know if you guys know how prolific that is, but I don't even know how many Black owned and operated hotels are in Rwanda. Maybe very few, you know, because we know a lot of these type of services are provided by foreigners and usually white foreigners. Hello. So just imagine we know the beginning of a Black owned and operated hotel in Rwanda, where those of us venturing to Rwanda, we have that ability to go stay there. You know, and I mean, I don't know if Lady Visionary realizes or not, but her hotel's going to blow up. You know, it's coming up on December, and I know her hotel's going to be booked for the holidays. You know what I mean? And then probably by next December, she will have expanded and add some additional rooms. This has a capability to just be so massive. And I'm just so happy that we get to witness it because it's just phenomenal. And as you could hear from Lady Visionary, she's so passionate. You know, she's so passionate. She's so determined. I know those of us that are leaders, we know at times we might have those moments where it's just like, I don't know what to do. But from my perspective, she's always been on fire. Even when I've talked to her sometimes and I've had my moments, she always has reinforced, no, Gina, you know, do what you need to do, and spoke encouraging words over me. So I just think she's amazing, and I'm happy to hear from her tonight. Also, big shout outs to the Afrikan Superstar family. A lot of you guys turned up and were here, so I made sure you hit the likes. And also, if you have not seen my latest freestyle video, I dropped it just yesterday, one and only. It's here on the channel. It's in the community tab. I love the video. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I feel like the Afrikan Superstar. The video is everything. Once again, shot by my team in Ghana, ONAP Studios. Just, I mean, I cried when I got it. I was so touched. I was like, this is exactly what I wanted my project to look like. You know, he's amazing. So big shout outs to the Afrikan Superstar family. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Have a good evening. And if you're not subscribed to our channel, please make sure that you do. I'm gonna resume the live streams. That's why I was, you know, that's why I was on my heart. I'm like, man, I barely go live, and I used to, and I know our audience loves that. So we back at it again. Until we meet again, stay Black and true. If you ain't Black, just stay true.